Small Business Big Ideas. Today we are joined by Justin Krone from CNA and Nadine Guss. Nadine is the manager for the Business Development Center at Moreton and Company. Moreton and Company is an agency located in Salt Lake City and was founded back in 1910. They've been providing insurance services nationwide for over 100 years. Nadine, thank you for joining us. Nadine, how is your agency leveraging technology to make the quoting process more efficient?
Our agency, as well as most in the nation, is trying to figure out how to do more with the same staff and grow our business. Efficiency is the key to this growth. How we do that, though, depends on many factors. Record unemployment and economic stresses require us to produce better and faster results without jeopardizing the client relationship. Right now, we're in the discovery phase of implementing a comparative rater. We currently use the carrier quoting platforms on a direct basis. CNA, like others, strives to make their own system stronger and quicker. The amount of third-party data that generates into the quoting platforms drives the efficiency, and the number of bindable classes of business helps us get risks placed, and often more accurately than many third-party systems, which may offer more quotes and instant comparisons, but they may not have the coverages built into the initial comparison.
Nadine, has it been difficult to implement this new technology for your agents?
The short answer to that question is yes, and that is because we're still not using a comparative rater. There are lost passwords, several sites to key as favorites, and the like. There are account managers who don't want to learn quoting. There are also many hesitations to change the antiquated idea of sending accords, as many believe that is the way to save time.
Nadine, thank you for sharing that information. Now, Justin, has the implementation of these tools benefited the agency experience? And how do you see CNA contributing in the future?
Thanks, Albert. Yeah, agents have often talked about the issues with having to use multiple different carrier portals, also having to learn the appetite of all their different carrier markets and the product differences. Multi-carrier portals have started to make that process a little bit simpler by allowing single input of data with multiple carrier quote options. Today, some of them only offer a basic quote, while others have the ability to offer all the quoting capabilities available on the carrier portal and even display the coverage differences between markets. Now, this also benefits the insurance carrier and the customer by providing quotes whenever the integrated carrier is in appetite. So account managers do not need to memorize the changing appetites of all the available markets, and the customers get to see all of their options. Now, not all insurance companies have their entire appetites enabled through these APIs and comparative raters, and some of them even offer sort of a limited or skinny down product. CNA, on the other hand, offers a full product capabilities and all of our coverages through these APIs. That is, providing the quoting platform has built that into their user interface. CNA also allows for not just quoting, but appetite, referral, and issuance through APIs.
Justin, it's great to hear how CNA continues to invest in this technology. Now back to you, Nadine. What is next for Moreton and Company Insurance?
Our agency will continue to determine what the future looks like. We used comparative raters long ago, and they were less impressive than we had hoped. They simply gathered information and set up the risks in each of the carrier sites, but you still have to go into the accounts and personalize them. They are good for a one-size-fits-all approach for Main Street clients. We find our clients a bit more diverse.
What would you say are some of the limitations you have seen in using a single entry multi-carrier quoting system?
The time it initially saves is helpful, but there's still time investment in the need to access the client to add the broadening endorsements as well as some other risk-specific information.
Nadine, if you're planning to use a multi-carrier quoting option, what will be important to you in deciding between the different options? Ease of use, cost, coverage availability, or carrier selection?
There are several factors we are considering when using a multi-carrier quoting platform. Besides the obvious, ease of use, cost per user, carrier selection, and coverage availability, we're also realizing that there's double entry on our side no matter what, as our own agency management system needs to be created for each new client. So we're exploring the possibility of working from the inside out rather than the outside in.
Thank you, Nadine. Now back to you, Justin. How is CNA working with comparative raters to solve some of the double entry issues and expand adoption of such tools to help our agents?
As I mentioned earlier, some of the comparative quoting tools out there really only provide a basic quote. Now, this isn't necessarily because they don't have the capabilities to provide a fully bindable quote. It's more because not all insurance carriers allow for that type of quote to be ingested via an API. So the platform's really forced to choose between providing non-comparable quotes, like putting CNA's full quote that matches expiring coverage up against another carrier's digital product with limited coverage options, or they can default all carriers to show some basic quote, and then the agent needs to enter the carrier portal and complete the quote. So when we talk to our partners on the portal side, we really look for every opportunity to partner with the companies in a way that'll provide that full quoting issuing capability to the agents, along with coverage comparisons when they can't do so. So that makes it easier for the agent to actually see what it is they're getting those comparative quotes on. Change is hard enough. We want to make it as easy as possible for the account manager. That's the only way to expect meaningful adoption.
Nadine and Justin, thank you so much for sharing thoughts on multi-carrier platforms. This information will be extremely helpful for many of our agency partners to consider when planning for the future of their agency. The digital era of insuring continues to evolve. Thanks for joining Small Business Big Ideas, and stay tuned for our upcoming episodes. Thank you.